What happens when Dolly Parton humiliates Joy Behar live on The View? Make sure to subscribe to Fame After Hours, and like and comment for more talk show coverage. The cameras pan to The View set. The audience buzzes with excitement, their murmurs blending into a low roar. Joy Behar adjusts her microphone, glancing at her notes, while Dolly Parton smiles warmly, the sequins on her outfit catching the studio lights. The energy in the room is charged. Joy leans forward, her tone a mix of curiosity and skepticism. Dolly, your career has spanned decades. Some critics say you're too polished, too perfect. How do you respond? Dolly laughs softly, tilting her head. Joy, I don't mind criticism. I've always tried to be true to myself. If people see me as polished, maybe it's because I work hard and I never pretend to be someone I'm not. The audience reacts with applause and murmurs of agreement. Joy presses on, sharper now. Sure, but isn't there a line where staying polished becomes carefully crafted image management? Some feel it's all manufactured. Dolly leans in, eyes glinting. Joy, if smiling, dressing well, and keeping a clean image is manufactured, then guilty as charged. But I share my life, struggles, losses, joys, and people connect with that because it's real. My polish doesn't hide my heart. Whoopi Goldberg nods subtly, letting Dolly finish. People see my exterior, yes, but they also see my actions. Building schools, funding scholarships, supporting women's health. Maybe it doesn't make headlines, but it's real work. Joy's frustration grows, her scarf twisting in her hands. But your persona distracts from your causes. People see the glamour first and the message second. Don't you worry, it dilutes your advocacy. Dolly chuckles, calm and measured. Joy, if being visible helps me inspire people while doing good, I choose that over invisibility. My image draws attention, my actions keep it. Audience murmurs ripple through the crowd. Applause breaks out. A woman whispers to her friend, she's right, that's amazing. Joy leans back, still guarded. Okay, but let's talk about staying grounded. Your Dolly bubble protects you in Hollywood. How do you remain authentic in the spotlight? Dolly straightens, serene but firm. I've made mistakes, faced setbacks, and lost people. What keeps me grounded is remembering where I came from. Tennessee, a small cabin, simple values. Fame never outweighs life lessons. That's my anchor. The audience claps, some standing, some nodding emphatically. Dolly's calm, confident presence dominates the segment. Every word lands with intent. Joy leans forward softer this time. All right, Dolly, your track record speaks for itself, but maintaining consistency in an industry full of scandals must be difficult. Dolly shakes her head, smiling. Joy, consistency is discipline, self-respect, and staying true to your heart. If that's scandalous, Hollywood could use more of it. Laughter and applause fill the studio. Whoopi gestures to Dolly approvingly. The tension fades slightly, replaced by admiration. Cameras capture audience reactions, nods, whispered agreement, and excitement. As the segment ends and the hosts transition to a commercial break, murmurs continue. Audience members whisper, she really humiliated Joy Behar, and I've never seen anyone handle that situation like that. The energy is electric, and clips are already trending in anticipation online. The cameras return from a quick commercial break, capturing the audience settling back into their seats. Whispers and murmurs echo across the studio, I can't wait to see what happens next, and Joy doesn't look ready for this. Joy Behar straightens in her chair, adjusting her scarf and shuffling her cue cards, signaling she's preparing for the next round. Dolly Parton, meanwhile, smiles calmly, radiating her trademark confidence, fully aware of the tension in the room. Joy begins, leaning forward slightly, her voice sharper than before. Dolly, you've talked about being grounded and using your platform for good. But critics argue that your image, the sequins, the hair, the smile, overshadows your message. Don't you think people focus on the glamour first and the substance second? Dolly tilts her head slightly, giving Joy a steady gaze. Joy, if people are inspired by a smile, by hope, by a story, I'll gladly take the glamour as the entrance. My actions are what stay with them, not just the sparkle on the outside. The audience murmurs in agreement, a few whistles punctuating the applause. Whoopi Goldberg leans in subtly, raising her eyebrows toward Joy, silently signaling that Dolly is holding her own with ease. Joy isn't backing down. But let's be real, Hollywood loves a facade. It thrives on surface-level perfection. People wonder if what we see is really who you are. Isn't there a danger that you're creating a shield, a protective bubble that keeps the real Dolly Parton hidden? Dolly chuckles softly, shaking her head. Joy, my life has been far from perfect. I've faced struggles, losses, hardships, like everyone else. The difference is, I share those experiences openly. My bubble isn't a shield, it's a foundation built from lessons learned. I've never hidden the hard parts. That's real. The camera pans across the audience, capturing a few nods, some smiles, and an older woman whispering, she's telling it like it is. A younger man leans to his neighbor, whispering, Joy's getting roasted. Joy leans closer to Dolly now, her tone sharper. I get that, Dolly, but in a world obsessed with controversy, people expect fireworks. They want a raw, edgy moment, something shocking. And yet you present this controlled, perfect persona. Aren't you worried it makes your advocacy less relatable? Dolly leans forward slightly, her voice calm but firm. Joy, relatability isn't about chaos or drama. It's about authenticity. People connect with truth, with someone who genuinely cares and acts. If I can inspire a young person to finish school or motivate someone to give back, that's more impactful than chasing headlines. You can't measure influence by gossip or scandal. Applause ripples through the audience. A few viewers whistle. Whoopi leans toward the camera, murmuring, "That's a masterclass in composure." Joy Behar adjusts her posture, visibly processing Dolly's words, but there's a spark of frustration lingering. "You make it sound easy, Dolly," Joy says, now trying a more pointed approach. "You talk about helping communities, building schools, being an advocate, but isn't it difficult to maintain that image while navigating criticism, tabloid scrutiny, and public opinion?" Dolly's eyes glint, but her tone remains soft. "Joy, every public figure faces criticism. I've had my share of mistakes and setbacks. What keeps me grounded is remembering where I came from, my family, my values, my roots. Fame doesn't define me, it amplifies the work I do. That's how I balance everything." The audience responds with nods and applause. A man in the front row calls out, "She's speaking the truth." Another woman whispers, "Joy Behar is really being schooled right now." Joy shifts slightly, crossing her arms, her tone now a mix of challenge and acknowledgement. "All right, Dolly, let's talk about risk. Being outspoken can be dangerous in your line of work. You've managed to navigate this for decades without major scandal. How do you take risks while maintaining that reputation?" Dolly leans back, smiling gently. "Joy, risk isn't about being reckless. It's about speaking honestly, acting with integrity, and taking responsibility for your choices. I've faced setbacks, disagreements, and even controversy. But I never compromise who I am for fear of criticism. That's how you maintain both respect and authenticity." The audience murmurs again, some clapping softly, some leaning in to catch every word. Cameras cut briefly to co-hosts nodding in agreement. The tension is high, but Dolly's calm demeanor dominates the room. Joy, now slightly flushed, leans forward one final time in this segment. "So you're saying it's not the image or the glamour that matters, but staying true to your principles?" Dolly nods firmly. "Exactly. If I can keep my values at the center, everything else, the sequins, the hair, the sparkle, is just icing. It opens the door for people to listen, to learn, and to be inspired. That's real influence." The audience reacts strongly, a mix of applause, whistles, and murmurs of agreement. Some stand, clapping vigorously. A few whisper to each other, "I've never heard anyone put it that way," and "Joy Behar has no answer for that." The camera catches Joy, visibly collecting herself, leaning back but not conceding completely. She smiles faintly, signaling the discussion is far from over. The tension between the hosts and Dolly lingers, but Dolly's composed responses have shifted the energy in the studio. She is in control, commanding respect while staying warm and engaging. As the segment wraps up, the audience continues to buzz with excitement. Conversations ripple through the crowd. "She really shut her down," Dolly's words were so measured, and "I can't wait to see the next segment." It's clear social media will explode once clips go live, fans dissecting every moment of the clash. The camera pans out slightly, capturing the subtle side glances of the co-hosts, the murmuring audience, and Dolly's calm smile. The stage is set for the next part of the debate, and everyone in the studio knows this is a moment viewers will talk about long after the cameras stop rolling. The cameras return from a quick break, and the energy in the studio is palpable. The audience whispers excitedly, leaning forward in anticipation. Joy Behar sits forward, clearly determined, adjusting her scarf with a flick of her hand, her eyes fixed on Dolly. Dolly Parton, calm and collected, smiles at the camera, radiating her usual warmth. Joy begins, her voice a little sharper than before. "Dolly, I respect everything you've accomplished. But let's address the elephant in the room. Hollywood isn't exactly known for its honesty. Do you ever feel the pressure to say the right thing rather than what you truly think?" Dolly tilts her head slightly, her smile steady. "Joy, I've been asked that question hundreds of times. The answer is always the same, honesty first. I've learned over decades that speaking your truth respectfully earns more respect than saying what people expect to hear." Audience members murmur their agreement. A few clap quietly, while some shake their heads in disbelief at Joy's persistence. Joy leans forward again, clearly challenging Dolly now. "But sometimes, being honest gets you into trouble, doesn't it? Aren't there moments where you've had to hold back to maintain your public image?" Dolly's eyes sparkle as she responds, firm but gentle. "Joy, there have been tough moments, yes. But my principle is simple, integrity over image. People will judge you either way, so why not stand by your convictions?" Whoopi leans in, whispering to the other hosts, She's schooling her without raising her voice. Joy, a little flustered but composed, presses further. All right, Dolly. Let's be real, your life seems flawless. People expect that sparkle, that positivity. How do you deal with critics who say your life looks too perfect, like it's unattainable for the average person? Dolly laughs softly, leaning toward Joy. Joy, perfection is a myth. Everyone has struggles. Mine are just documented differently. I share my story openly so people can relate, inspire, and find hope. If that makes it look perfect, I can live with that. Applause breaks out from the audience. Some viewers whisper, she's winning this, while others laugh quietly, impressed by Dolly's measured answers. Joy Behar folds her arms, looking momentarily at the ceiling as if gathering her next point. So you're saying the shine, the glamour, the public persona, it's all secondary to the work you do? Dolly nods firmly. Exactly. The glamour opens the door, but it's the work and the heart that make a difference. If people take away one lesson from this, let it be that authenticity and kindness matter more than image. The audience claps again, some standing. The camera pans across faces, young, old, excited, reflective. Social media reactions are already beginning to flash across live screens in the control room, clips of Dolly's responses circulating rapidly. Comments stream in, Joy got schooled, Dolly is the queen of composure, that's how you handle a tough question. Joy sits back slightly, a faint smile tugging at her lips, acknowledging Dolly's command of the segment. The tension hasn't fully dissipated, but it's clear Dolly has held her ground, steering the conversation with calm authority. The host signals for a short pause, and the audience erupts in applause again. The cameras capture Dolly waving softly to fans in the crowd, still smiling, still composed, while Joy Behar adjusts her notes, clearly planning her next move for the final segment. The cameras return from another brief pause, and the audience is buzzing, some still whispering about the tension from the previous segment. Joy Behar sits forward, scanning her notes, clearly trying to regain control, while Dolly Parton remains calm, smiling warmly at the viewers and audience alike. Joy begins cautiously, her tone softer but still curious. Dolly, I have to admit, you've handled every question with grace, but what happens after the cameras stop? Critics online are already dissecting every word. Do you ever worry about the fallout? Dolly laughs softly, shaking her head. Joy, you can't control what people say, and you shouldn't try. My focus is always on doing the right thing, sharing stories that inspire, and being genuine. The fallout, the chatter, it comes and goes. I just keep doing what I believe is right. The audience murmurs approvingly, a mix of nods and quiet applause filling the room. A few viewers call out, she's the real deal, and Dolly's words are everything. Joy, now leaning back, seems reflective, her earlier fire replaced by contemplation. I suppose that's part of your appeal, authenticity over spectacle. People feel they can trust you, even with all the glamour and fame. Dolly leans slightly toward the camera, her smile steady. Exactly, Joy. People connect with truth, and they can see when it's sincere. My goal is always to give hope and encouragement while remaining authentic. That's what really resonates, not just the sequins or the hair. The audience erupts into louder applause this time, some standing. Cameras pan across excited faces, young women whispering to friends, older viewers nodding with admiration. Social media monitors in the control room flash clips of Dolly's calm but commanding responses. Comments scroll rapidly, Dolly owned this segment, Joy Behar can't compete with that poise, she's a master of composure. Joy clears her throat, smiling faintly. Well, Dolly, you've clearly left your mark today. I can't say this often, but that was impressive. Dolly laughs softly. Thank you, Joy. It's all about sharing a little love, a little wisdom, and maybe inspiring someone watching right now. That's what matters. The audience cheers, claps, and whistles, creating a live wave of energy. The hosts exchange glances, nodding at Dolly, while Joy adjusts her microphone, acknowledging that Dolly has led the discussion without ever raising her voice. As the show wraps, the cameras catch glimpses of the audience standing, talking excitedly among themselves. Some whisper, she really humbled Joy, while others cheer, Dolly's the queen of handling tough questions. Clips of the exchange begin trending immediately online, with hashtags like hashtag Dolly Parton The View, hashtag LiveClash, and hashtag TalkShowMoment flooding social media feeds. Backstage, the producers are already planning post-show highlights. Interviews with audience members capture their astonishment and admiration for Dolly's calm yet commanding responses. Tweets, Instagram stories, and video clips circulate within minutes, sparking discussions on authenticity, celebrity poise, and the clash itself. As the final moments unfold, Dolly waves to the audience one last time, smiling graciously, while Joy Behar nods subtly, clearly acknowledging Dolly's dominance in the conversation. Share your opinion in the comments and subscribe to Fame After Hours for more real talk show stories, the host concludes, as the cameras slowly fade out, leaving viewers buzzing about the unforgettable clash between Dolly Parton and Joy Behar on The View.